Now that we have finished our research papers, we're going to introduce our courageous leaders to the class. You're going to introduce their biggest obstacles, what they've accomplished, and what their lasting impact is. If that sounds familiar, that's because it's the body paragraphs that you wrote about in your research paper. What you'll be doing is creating an original artistic multimedia presentation and then present that or share it with our class. You'll also make sure that you include a works cited section in your presentation. How you'll do it is by sharing those facts, details, and examples of your leaders' obstacles, their accomplishments, and their lasting impact. And you'll do it in a minimum of 90 seconds. We'll be doing this individually in the language arts classroom, and we'll be doing it during the last week of the trimesters when we'll actually present. We'll start the presentations on Wednesday during the last week of the tri. Why we're doing it, our learning target, is because we've got a standard that is related to being able to create a multimedia presentation to share information with a group. How you'll be graded on the presentation is by what you see here. So this is the grading rubric. You can see that you get points for creating an original multimedia presentation, which clearly states how your person showed courage and leadership, what obstacles they faced, what their best accomplishments are, and how they impacted history. You should also include a work cited in your presentation. For the presentation portion, you need to make sure that when you're presenting, you use appropriate eye contact, adequate volume, and clear pronunciation, and your presentation should be a minimum of 1.5 minutes. Our timeline for the presentations, Monday this week, we'll be spending some time planning our projects. Tuesday, Wednesday are both work days. After Thanksgiving break, we'll come back and we'll have some more work time and we'll sign up for our presentation order. Tuesday after Thanksgiving, we will have a dress rehearsal to make sure that our technology is working, and then Wednesday will be the actual presentations. If we can't get through all the presentations on Wednesday, we will spend time on Thursday wrapping those up. For advanced language arts, our timeline looks a little bit different, so you can see that timeline here. When it comes to choosing your piece of technology to do the presentation, there are a lot of different options. Google Slides, I would say, is one of the easier options for kids because it's familiar, but you might jump into a Prezi or an Animoto. You might use a Pictochart. You might try out Nearpod, which is that app that I used to make the Nothing Gold Can Stay lesson. You might try out a Voki or some of these other pieces of technology that you see listed. If you choose to do a video presentation of some kind, you will still need to get up in front of the class and introduce your courageous leader in your presentation. If you choose to do slide presentations, there is a minimum number of slides that you should have. Here's an example of the Voki presentation if you choose to do a style like this.
Hello everyone. Tonight we are having some special guests. Help me welcome to the stage Bethany Hamilton and Martin Luther King Jr.
Hi guys.
Hello. So Bethany, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you can see,
So that's an example of a Voki. Now the person not only made the Voki because the Vokis are limited to 30 seconds, they had to make multiple Vokis and then take a recording of those Vokis to get it to a presentation length that was long enough. Another type of technology you might use for your presentation is called Story Jumper. Story Jumper is an online storybook. So here's an example of one of those. So when this student presented her book to the class, she was able to read the book just like you would a normal picture book, and she included the facts from her paper in this storybook. Another technology option would be to create an Animoto video. Animoto is a pretty straightforward site to learn how to make videos that look pretty professional. So you start by choosing your style, and then from there you can add pictures and add text to your presentation. So here's an example of an Animoto that a former student created. If you choose to do an Animoto presentation, there are some requirements. You can see those listed there. If you are feeling at all scared or nervous about presenting, no worries, because number one, you are already an expert on your person. You know lots about your person, so be confident in that knowledge. Number two, if you don't want to stand up in front of us to present, don't worry. You could try technology like Animoto or Voki or Story Jumper or any kind of format that would allow you to record your voice, and you could hit play on the day of the presentations. You can let the technology do the hard work. And number three, your presentation does not have to be memorized. You'll have your info up in front of you as you present, so you've got this. If you are interested in doing Story Jumper or Animoto, please email me your school Gmail address and your school password so that I can add your account and get you some cooler features. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the presentation.